A day of history here, the historic high-stakes summit. President Biden face-to-face with Vladimir Putin. Tonight we have new reporting here, details from inside the summit. President Biden saying, "I did what I came to do." He said he did not threaten President Putin, but he did warn him after cyber attacks back in the U.S. Biden telling Putin we have significant cyber capabilities in the U.S. He said Putin doesn't know what they are, but he knows the steps we could take if these cyber attacks continue. President Putin and President Biden shaking hands outside that historic chateau on Lake Geneva here, surrounded in highly secured park, cedar trees, 200 years old. A discreet location for these two leaders, but they knew the world was watching. Inside a small meeting, first President Biden and Secretary of State Antony Blinken, President Putin and Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov. Both leaders and their body language studied by the world tonight, appearing comfortable with one another. They have met before 10 years ago. But of course, this is the first time since President Biden was elected, and clearly his most important and most challenging meeting on the world stage yet. Afterward, President Putin was asked if there was hostility in the room. He said the contrary was true, that there was no hostility, he said. And Putin said on key issues, including cyber attacks, quote, "We can reach an agreement." President Biden then holding his own solo news conference. Biden revealing what he said to Putin about election meddling, about human rights, about nuclear talks and their shared responsibility, and about the two former American Marines held in Russian jails. And of course, that moment when Biden told Putin about the U.S. and its own capabilities when it comes to cyber warfare. Putin today denying the attacks came from Russia, and President Biden tonight not happy with the final question. A reporter here asking, why are you so confident he'll change his behavior? Biden stopping and then answering, saying, that is not what I said. The president making it clear this is not about trust. It is about what he sees in the coming months from Putin and from Russia. ABC's chief White House correspondent Cecilia Vega leading us off right here in Geneva tonight.
Today, after declaring U.S.-Russia relations had hit rock bottom, President Biden and Russian President Vladimir Putin shook hands in Geneva. Unlike past summits, Putin didn't keep the American president waiting. He was on time, the two men briefly appearing before the cameras.
I think it's always better to meet face to face.
After hours behind closed doors with their teams, the two leaders leaving separately, both calling their summit productive.
I did what I came to do. And I must tell you, the tone of the entire meetings, I guess it was a total of 4 hours, was good, positive. Where we disagreed, I disagreed, stated where it was. Where he disagreed, he stated. But it was not done in a hyperbolic atmosphere. That is too much of what's been going on.
President Biden says he warned Putin not to meddle in future American elections.
Bottom line is, I told President Putin that we need to have some basic rules of the road that we can all abide by.
He also raised human rights, Russia's poisoning and imprisonment of opposition leader Alexei Navalny.
I made it clear to President Putin that we'll continue to raise issues of fundamental human rights, because that's what we are, that's who we are.
And he confronted Putin about the issue on the minds of so many, the recent cyber attacks on American infrastructure by criminals based in Russia. One hit the U.S. meat supply, the other causing gas shortages and price spikes on the East Coast.
I pointed out to him we have significant cyber capability. And he knows it. He doesn't know exactly what it is, but it's significant. And if in fact they violate these basic norms, we will respond. I think that the last thing he wants now is a Cold War.
The president insists he did not issue threats, but he did ask the Russians this question.
What happens if that ransomware outfit were sitting in Florida or Maine and took action, as I said, on their single lifeline to their economy? Oil. It'd be devastating. And they're like, you could see them kind of go, oh, we'd do that, but like, whoa.
President Biden says he gave Putin a list of 16 areas of critical infrastructure that should be off limits to attack, from the energy sector to the water supply. The two countries also agreeing to have high-level cybersecurity negotiations, though Putin still denies Russia harbors cyber criminals or engages in cyber warfare. Still, the Russian president saying there was no hostility at this summit.
He's very constructive. He's very balanced, just the way that I expected. He's very experienced. You can tell that at first glance. He talked about what his mom said. It shows the extent of his moral values, and that's all quite attractive.
Putin calling their conversation very open and frank.
we spoke the same language. That doesn't mean that we necessarily have to look into our eyes, look into our souls. We need to have eternal friendship and love.
President Biden says he's taking a wait-and-see approach.
We'll find out within the next 6 months to a year whether or not we actually have a strategic dialogue that matters.
He's called Putin a killer with no soul. So after that meeting today, I asked, has he now changed his mind?
You famously told him he didn't have a soul. Do you now have a deeper understanding of him after this meeting?
Thank you very much.
As the press conference ended, the president bristling at this question.
Why are you so confident he'll change his behavior, Mr. President?
Yeah, I'm not confident changing behavior. What do you do all the time? So when did I say I was confident? I said what will change their behavior is that the rest of the world reacts to them and it diminishes their standing in the world. I'm not confident of anything.
And Cecilia Vega with us live tonight right here in Geneva. And Cecilia, President Biden clearly unhappy with one of those final questions. He made it clear today that he says he's not confident that Putin will change. He says he doesn't trust Putin. In fact, he repeatedly said many different ways that it will take months, it'll take time to see whether relations between the U.S. and Russia actually improve.
6 months to a year, he says, David, to establish this meaningful dialogue on things that matter, everything from cybersecurity to human rights. You just said it. The president made it extremely clear today. He is under no illusion. This is not about trusting Vladimir Putin. President Biden says this is about verifying and then trusting. But we saw those handshakes today. We heard this tone today. You still heard the president say after all of that, this is about there is more work to do.
Cecilia Vega leading us off again tonight. Cecilia, thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.